The term quiet luxury is one that we've heard bandied about a lot of late, especially off the back of Succession and Sophia Richie Granger's wedding. And I thought today we could unpack that and also talk through 10 different outfit ideas that really embody this quiet luxury trend. At its very core, the concept really relies on simple wardrobe basics, things that we consider to be really timeless and classic that are extremely high quality, so in really beautiful, luxurious, sumptuous fabrics that are worn in combination. They don't shout or scream at you. They are very kind of quiet in that sense. The whole trend to me is very much linked to a term I've seen a lot on TikTok, old money aesthetic, but essentially just pairing these very classic items together in a very non-showy way that reads quite kind of mature and elegant, very kind of refined in combination. I will have all of my outfit details linked down below. I'll have numbers as well so you can easily find what you're looking for, but let's just kind of go through the outfits and I'll talk through some of the different elements. So the very first one is actually an outfit that I have stolen straight from Sophia Richie Granger's TikTok, the linen set. So to me, there's a couple things about this that really make it feel quiet luxury. For one, the really elegant, refined silhouette. So the waistcoat, it doesn't really feel too trendy. It's a little bit longer in terms of the cut, and it does have the buttons down the front where you can actually leave some undone. And this is a good contender for wearing with denim as well. The skirt is a long length. It is really quite modest and it isn't too figure hugging either. I think you could easily wear this with a little two-tone pump, you know, the Chanel ones, but here I've paired it with a neutral toned flat. And this is something that you see a lot in quiet luxury, that generally the color palette is very neutral tone, so lots of creams, beiges, navies, blacks, and tans. Doesn't mean you can't incorporate color into this trend, but it's those colors that really seem to dominate overall. I say this a lot, but texture is the most interesting way to elevate a tonal outfit that could otherwise end up looking flat. So the mock croc leather bag really does this. And again, it adds in that sense of luxury just from the sheer texture of the bag itself. Next outfit we have here features some denim, and this particular pair is cut very straight through the leg, and it's also a longer fit as well, something that we're seeing quite a bit of within the quiet luxury trend. I've opted to go for another tonal moment with the blue shirt, and the shirt that I'm wearing is quite a soft cotton, so it has a bit of movement to it. That preppy collegiate element is coming in again with the knit thrown over my shoulders, and then I've added in some warmth with the camel brown bag. Ballet flats being a classic option here, so it felt like a bit of a no-brainer, although you could easily do a sneaker if you wanted something that felt a bit more sporty. I love a slouchy sweater, and this is a great way to wear one within the quiet luxury trend with a chino, something that has a bit more of a tapered fit to it, which balances out really nicely with the casualness of the sweater. I'm wearing those two-tone pumps here, which also adds an additional layer of elegance and just feels a little bit more done up. This is another vest look, and again I've gone for it in a cream. I think cream outfits in particular tend to just look a little bit more expensive and more polished. And I think the reason why you feel more put together when you're wearing an all cream outfit is because it does just pair a little bit more elegant, because it is so clean and crisp and it sort of has this preciousness to it. The vest has the texture with the boucle tweed, and then it also has the gold buttons for that bit of shine. The neckline of it is very modest, so I think that's really well balanced with the fact that your arms are bared. And then the trousers, again, I've gone for something that is a bit longer, that kind of sweeps the floor almost, and then a really chunky sandal in the same color as the rest of my outfit, kind of going for a more tonal look. The trousers are actually in a wool fabrication, so they do have this really nice textural component to them as well. I'm excited to share that this part of the video is in partnership with Grana, a brand that I have loved for close to a decade now. I've actually got some of my oldest items from the brand, which are here. They're silk camisoles, which if you are a long time watcher of my channel, my videos, then you will have seen these over the years. They have been such a solid staple in my closet, and they've held up so incredibly well, and I still reach for them today, which I think really speaks to the quality of their garments. So if you aren't familiar with Grana, they're an international brand making high quality work to weekend leisure wear, and all of the fabrics that they use are really quite luxurious. So in particular, they specialize in really beautiful Mongolian cashmere, Chinese silk, American Supima cotton, and Tencel. All types of fabrics that have a real richness to them and really drape quite beautifully on the body. And I have some items here from the brand that I'm going to share with you, and I've also got a couple of outfits to share as part of the old money quiet luxury aesthetic, showcasing some of these items and how I would personally put them together. So I really want to highlight the Chinese silk collection because I just think that silk in particular is such a lustrous fabric. It really does kind of catch the light in a really beautiful way, especially washed silk. And most of their silk pieces are actually lined, so you do have that additional layer of fabric. So I think kind of the hero here, and this is actually the pair that I decided to style up as one of my quiet luxury outfits, are these black silk cargo pants. And to me, this is actually also a really nice way to kind of give a nod to the cargo trouser trend, but in a more subtle sense, just because the pockets on the hips, they're quite subdued. They're not too overwhelming or in your face. I really like the fit of these because they have the flat front and then they've got the elasticated back, and they're really nice and flowy through the leg. I will say that everything fits true to size. I'm wearing a size small, and if you are wider through the hips, especially in these trousers, I would actually suggest going up a size. Their size guide is really on the money in terms of fit, and that's what I found with all of the items that I picked out. So immediately when I thought of styling these, I really wanted to pair them with the Mongolian cashmere knit vest, which I think is a really nice way to mix up your textures and also opt for two really luxurious fabrics in one sitting. And I've worn that with a pair of low-heeled mules, and I just think that this is such an elegant sort of combination because you have that little bit of extra height, feels a little bit dressed up, especially with the cashmere and the silk combined. And then I finished that off with the quilted Chanel vintage classic flap, which I think kind of ties everything in really nicely. Again, I've gone for one single column of color, and this is something you see a lot in quiet luxury. There really is a bit of an emphasis on tonal looks because of how effortless it feels, and also just that slight ease in your outfits as well. Not sloppy, but slightly undone and just kind of relaxed. It feels like this person has this air of elegance and nonchalance about them. So I've got a few other items from the silk collection that I wanted to share. The first being the square neck camisole, and I actually purchased the black one of this I think about a year ago, and it's something I always get asked questions about. So this is the ink blue, and it's really rich in terms of the depth, but it's slightly desaturated in color, and I find that these are the kinds of colors that are really interesting and that add a lot of visual layers to your outfit. And this is double layered, and also you can actually adjust the length of the straps as well because they've looped some of the fabric here. Then the other sort of tank that I picked out was this camisole, and I thought that this was just such a beautiful color. Again, I think they've really nailed it with the color choices. So this is in this beautiful chocolate. What I liked about this is that it is not so red toned, it actually leans a little bit more neutral, and you can see how beautiful it actually looks when paired with those silk cargo pants as well. And I think that's another nice way to kind of wear the quiet luxury trend, is going head to toe all in the same sort of fabrication, but one that is a little bit more sumptuous in terms of its nature. And again, I've got that in the size small. I also picked out this beautiful silk dress, also in the chocolate brown. I mean, just imagine wearing this on a date night with a big oversized blazer and then some really lovely strappy heels or sandals. I think that the tie back detail on it is really quite beautiful, and the way it just kind of nips in at the waist, incredibly flattering. The final silk piece I selected takes a really classic style but modernizes it and makes it feel more luxurious in the Chinese silk. Again, this one is lined and it does have the little zip up closure at the back. So I wanted to incorporate this into one of my quiet luxury outfits as well, and you can see I've just done that by pairing it with a Mary Jane, and I think that this is just such a sweet and simple pairing. It feels really effortless. It kind of has this really expensive look to it, and then I have added a layer to that as well by throwing the Mongolian cashmere sweater around my neck as well and just tying that slightly. Kind of has a little bit of a preppy collegiate sort of a vibe by doing that, and again, that is that sort of aesthetic that we seem to see popping up quite a lot within outfits that are categorized as quiet luxury. Of course, it would be remiss of me to not also mention their cashmere, which was really how I was initially introduced to the brand. It was one of the first things that I tried out, and again, it's just such a beautiful quality. It is grade A quality cashmere and it feels incredibly soft on the skin. Again, I really love the deep brown. I think they've nailed it with the color palette, and I also went with that knitted vest too, which I think is a really good sort of layering piece, but also looks really nice worn on its own as well, especially during the transitional season. What I've always loved about Grana is that they make luxury level products but at an affordable price point. And I actually have a discount code to share with you. It is Jamie40 and that will get you 40% off your purchase. I will be sure to have all those details down in the description box below, along with links to all of the Grana pieces that I shared with you today. I would love to know if you had a particular favorite piece that I tried on, or if you were planning to buy anything. Please let me know in the comment section. All right, let's move on to the next outfit. So you can see here what I was referring to earlier with those tonal looks, looking very chic, looking more expensive, and really kind of leaning into this whole aesthetic. Again, we've got the gold button detail, which is something that we're seeing popping up quite a lot within this trend. And then I'm wearing a straight leg jean with a ballet flat. So all really core styles that many of us probably already have in our wardrobes that really work towards this aesthetic. And the key here is to not show off any midriffs, so the jacket falls slightly lower than the waist of my jeans. And going back to accessories, one thing you may notice is that many of the bags that are worn also tend to have a little bit of structure to them as well. Very rarely will they be something that is quite slouchy. This sweater is kind of the definition of quiet luxury. It's unbranded, but it is from quite an expensive luxury brand. And I think the actual design of it, which has these elements of modernity with the really long sleeves and also the asymmetric cut, is the thing that makes it really special. And also the weight of the knit that makes it kind of have this sumptuous component. A full knitted outfit can feel really luxurious, so I've also worn a knit skirt as well, and I'm wearing a full tonal look, just thought about making sure that the undertones are the same. The two-tone flat with the black toe cap draws the eye downwards while extending the visual line of my outfit, and it actually has this really lengthening effect. For that final expensive touch, the mock croc leather bag. Tailoring is a really big part of this trend, and I feel like what I have been seeing is straight leg trousers, ones that don't pull too wide but that are cut a little bit longer so they almost puddle over your shoes. And I've chosen to wear these black wool trousers here with a black loafer, something that's got a chain detail to it that has this additional bit of adornment that I personally really like. And then on top I've gone with a black strapless knitted tank. This feels like a really easy way to add in visual balance and show off a little bit of skin, especially considering that while the trousers aren't necessarily wide cut, they do have a bit more volume to them. You could also add on a blazer. Personally, I really like the way that black and navy pair together, and I think it's a very classic combo. This all black look relies on the luxurious component of silk in order to make it feel a little bit more elevated, and again you can see that I've gone for the ballet flat. What this ballet flat does is it adds an element of elegance and refinement because it has more of a pointed toe. To play up the richness of the textures, I've also thrown on a cashmere wool coat, which is in a beautiful chocolate melange hue, and I think what this highlights is the role that very specific colors play throughout the quiet luxury trend. So those are 10 outfit ideas that you can wear that really kind of lean in on this quiet luxury trend. I hope that you enjoyed this video and got some inspiration for your own wardrobe. I think that many of us can recreate these looks using things that we already have in our wardrobe, but as mentioned, I will have everything linked below. And don't forget that you can use my code Jamie40 at Grana to save on your next purchase. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here and you would like to see more videos from me, I would love to have you back, and I will see you again soon with my next video. See you later. Bye.